Scorpio, what's up, y'all? How you doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. We gonna see what's going on with you guys in the second week of August. So, remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you need to find out how to schedule a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com, or you can just look in the description. There's a link to my website right down here in the description. All right, let's jump into this. I don't want to do a bunch of babbling. Let's see what we can tell Scorpio for the second week of August 2025. What's going on with Scorpio's situation, universe? Nine of Pentacles. It's a strange energy to jump out. I don't know what the hell to say about that, to be honest with you. Knight of Wands reverse, Six of Wands. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, let's cut straight to the chase. If you're waiting on this person to take action towards you, most of the action cards are in the reverse here. We do have the Fool card here. That's kind of like an action card. If that was the only action card on the table, I would say this person's going to take action towards you. But we have three other cards of movement and action, all reversed. And I think, yeah, see, I think they're more contemplating. And I think it has a lot to do with the way they view you. For some reason, I don't know why, they see you as doing very, very well. It looks like you're doing better now than you have ever done. Now, hopefully, that's the truth. Hopefully it is. But you never know. For whatever reason, that's the way they see you. So I think that makes them a little bit nervous to come forward. They wouldn't want to be embarrassed. Because if it is true that you're doing as good as it looks like you're doing, then that'll make them look pretty fucking stupid because they're not doing that good. You know? So, yeah, looks kind of like a silent week. Oh, yeah, and of course, every time there's silence, there's always tension. Some of you dealing with a Gemini. I also have Aquarius and Virgo. I got Aries here. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's see their deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. How do they really feel about you? How do they really see you? Boop boop be doo, boo doo doo. Blum 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 blum. They're holding a grudge. They definitely holding a goddamn grudge. Eight of Cups, Six of Swords reverse. They do think about you all the time. I think you take up quite a bit of space in their head. They just want to forget about this, honestly. I think they wish they could just flip a switch and forget about this. I don't even think they know how they feel, honestly. I don't even think so. I think this is just one of those things where you just take up a lot of space in their head. It drives them nuts, and they don't know how they feel. They don't know what they want. I don't really know how to explain that. I'm always trying to figure out a better way of explaining that. That one's tough. But does that make sense? So that's the best way I can think to describe that. But yeah, they are still holding a little bit of a grudge. Whatever it was that went down, I don't know what happened, but they're still grudging a little bit, okay? So, alrighty, well, that's weird, okay. Let's get the advice then. If we're just going to have some cliffhanger bullshit here. What's the advice? What's the best advice for Scorpio universe? Lover's card reversed again. Boop, boop. Six of Swords reversed. Maybe a reconnection would. Well, actually, honestly, hey, no matter how the penny drops, I think a reconnection would end up serving your highest good in the end. I think so. I think reconnecting with them would be beneficial. Either A, it would really help all the missing puzzle pieces fall into place and make it easier for you to let go of. Or, shit, maybe the two of you need to get back together and go through a repeat cycle. Maybe you need to be shown again. Sometimes we have to be shown again. That's just what it is, you know? There's nothing wrong with repeating a cycle. You know, I know it sucks when you're in the middle of it, but when the sun goes down at the end of the day, the person who repeated the cycle more than once is going to end up with more wisdom than the person who didn't. And that's kind of the paradox that comes along with it. That's not me encouraging you to go continue doing stupid shit. That's my way of telling you, don't be so hard on yourself if you didn't learn the lesson the first time. Nothing wrong with that. Where do you think the most wise souls that walk the face of this earth get their wisdom from? The teachers, the healers, the guides, the gurus. Where do you think they get all their knowledge and information from? Yes, I know that there are some people, especially on the internet, who love to put on this show and make it look like God just reached down from the sky and anointed me. And I just woke up one morning, pushed real hard to try to fart, and I started shitting wisdom accidentally, and I'm a chosen one. You know that's a load of horse shit, right? It's a load of horse shit. I would advise being careful listening to people who present themselves that way. You know where the real ones get their knowledge and wisdom from? Doing stupid shit. Doing stupid ass shit. Over and over and over and over and over. Getting drugged through the 7 pits of hell because they were a dumbass. They were ignorant and naive, and they did a bunch of ignorant, stupid, naive shit and learned some really fucking hard lessons. And then eventually one day it finally all came full circle, and they started taking all that wisdom they learned from all that dumbass shit that they did, and they started applying it to their life. And some people even use that wisdom to help others. You never know. But I'm just saying that I think, because that's what this is saying right here, the advice. 6 of Swords, 8 of Cups reversed, 2 of Cups. Some of y'all need to reconnect with this person. One or two things is gonna happen. Either A, it's all gonna click into place, or B, shit, maybe you need to go on another trip around the merry-go-round. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging you. Shit, I've done it. I've done it. It will serve your highest good one way or the other. I got news for you, but you know ain't nobody here forever, right? You know we all gonna meet up on the other side here in the next 100 years sometime. Sometime between now and the next 100 years, we all gonna be meeting up on the other side. And then that's where everything that we've been through in this lifetime will hopefully come full circle. Unless your higher self just loves the karma game, and I know there's a lot of entities who do love the karma game. But chances are, if you resonate with my message and you're listening to me, you're probably either A, a being who's done playing the karma game, or B, you're probably, this is your last lifetime here, hopefully. Not all of you, but the majority of you. All right, let's just see what's going on with the singles and your love interest. Single Scorpios and the person you're interested in. What is happening, man? Uh-oh. Six of Pentacles reversed. So this looks kind of like a one-sided connection here. No give and take. Are you giving too much to this and not really seeing an ROI? Chariot reverse, no forward movement. Uh-oh. Looks like y'all about to have a head-button competition. It does look like a relationship's happening. I think a relationship's happening here, but with the Chariot reverse being the overall energy next to the Six of Pentacles reversed, kind of seems like you're the one putting everything into this and aren't receiving your return on investment. So, yeah, communication's not the greatest. Some of you may suspect a third party. And I use the word suspect in all caps because this is just the first spread of the reading. Just a general overview, mainly from your perspective. I don't know if there's a third party or not, but it does look like maybe you're alleging that there could possibly be. So, well, let's find out. Let's dig into the good shit. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Ah, well, they definitely got some baggage they carry, and that's faux damn shizzle. That's faux shizzle. They definitely got some baggage. Five of Swords. Actually, wait a minute. That's the Seven of Swords. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Das ist nicht gut. I don't like that card. I don't like that card. Yeah, I think there's a third energy involved here. I think so, but the Three of Cups is reversed. So I'm not going to call it a third party. I will call it a third energy, though. So with the Ten of Wands there, feels to me like it's probably a past person. Nine of Swords, I think they're still upset about a past relationship. And with the codependency card, they're just trying to fill a void. Classic case of I got my heart broken, I just need somebody to fill the void so I'm not thinking about it. Classic codependency attachment. Some people call it trauma bond. I mean, that's kind of tomato, you know, but I mean, basically it's not a real connection. Not really. Now, the question is, are they aware of what they're doing? That's hard to say with that Seven of Swords being up there. I do think that they are not being honest about their past. Now, I'm not allowed to spy on the close personal details of somebody else's personal private life. I'm not allowed to look at what went wrong in their relationship. People ask me that shit all the time, right? Why did him and his wife divorce? That ain't none of my fucking business. That's none of your business either, right? I can look at this person's energy and see that, you know, whether or not they're a person of integrity and honesty. And I can tell you, well, this person's not an individual of honesty and integrity, and that's really all you need to fucking know at the end of the day. So whatever it is, though, when it comes to their past, they aren't being honest about it. What are they lying about? It doesn't fucking matter. All that matters is they're a liar. That's all that matters. They're lying about it. They're not being honest. I think they're not being honest about how they feel about their last relationship. You know, it's a classic case of, you know, a person talking all this cash money shit about their ex. You ever been in a situation like that? You ever met somebody like that? Oh man, they running their ex's name through the mud. You would think that they don't never want to see that person's face again. Next thing you know, crickets. They stop responding. What happened? We were just hanging out. We just had a great time. We just made plans for next weekend. Crickets. Poof. Next thing you know, 3 weeks later, you go look on social media and they're back with their ex. It's like, wow, you little sack of shit. Okay. All right. All right. You know what that tells me? You're fucking weak. That's what that tells me. You're weak. You know what decision you should make, but you're too weak to make that decision. That's what that tells me. Okay, cool. Well, we wouldn't make a good fucking team anyways then. So, kind of trailing off a little bit here, but that's what this energy looks like, you know. Speaking generally, I'm just speaking energetically. You know, that energy can animate itself in lots of different ways. It's hard to say whether this person has good intentions or bad intentions. They're not 100% honest. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you're really lying about. If it gets to the point to where I'm second guessing everything you fucking say, I don't want to fucking be around you. I don't want to be around you at all. I would rather die alone than have somebody in my life that I don't know if I can trust. Fuck that. Fuck that. If being in a relationship with somebody you don't trust doesn't hurt as bad as being alone, you got some issues you got to work on. We all got issues we got to work on. No judgment. I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm just saying that in a very matter-of-fact way. There's some deep-rooted issue you got in there if you can't be with yourself. If you would rather be with somebody you can't trust, laying awake at night, constantly wondering if they're lying to you, constantly wondering if they're betraying you, if you would rather be with them than be by yourself, that's just matter of fact. You got some issues you got to work on, you know? And my heart goes out to you. That must suck. Whoever, if anybody out there resonates with that, I hope you find the light one day. But let's get the advice on this. What's the advice for Scorpio? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's try to meet in the middle here a little bit. Because at the end of the day, as long as a person feels safe opening up and talking to you about anything, then we can move past shit, you know? Somehow, some way. Well, first of all, let's ask the real question. Are they safe to talk to you about anything? That's the real question. That's the real question. Because first of all, you have to answer that. Are you actually safe to talk to me about anything? Or is it possible that I might lash out at you if you tell me something I don't want to hear? That's the question, okay? But that aside, assuming you get to a point where you're able to put the ego and the emotions and all that stuff aside and be able to have those conversations with somebody that are uncomfortable, you know, assuming that you've reached that point, you want to do the best you can to let this person know, hey, you can talk to me. I'm not going to judge you. Okay, you got some unfinished business with a past person? Okay, I'll talk you through it. We'll talk about it together. It's all good, you know? As long as you're really looking to release it. Are you really looking to release it? You know? We can talk about this shit. See, I wouldn't waste too much time, though. I wouldn't waste too much time. You can't shame someone into letting their guard down. Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. That's like trying to put fire out with gasoline. That is not going to fucking work. You can't demand that somebody let their guard down. Oh, no. Oh, no. So do the best you can to see if you can let this person know you can talk to me. It's all good. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to look at you different. I'm here for you to talk to about any fucking thing you want. And make sure that you stand on that. Make sure you stand on that, because there will be uncomfortable conversations. There will be things that you don't want to hear. And you're going to have to be solid and put them insecurities aside. Put them emotions to the side, and just be there. But don't waste too much time. If they don't want to let their guard down, they're not going to, right? If they don't want to. So I would not be in such a hurry to fucking run away from this, but don't let it linger on for too long. Let this person know, hey, there are boundaries to be had. I'm not going to just keep you in my life with a big wall between us. We're either going to connect at a deep level, or we're just going to disconnect completely, All right, well, I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down here in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of